Makes you think you can stop him?
Oh, well, that's simple, my darling. I'm 007!
I can't believe that just worked!
After finally finishing World of Assassination last year, and with the most recent elusive target being another James Bond tie-in, the first being Sean Bean, and IOI taking over the James Bond game license, I figure now is the perfect time to talk about the weird expanded universe of Hitman. Minor spoilers for some of the series follow, you have been warned. Starting off with a little backstory, here's your spoiler warning.
No name, nothing.
I think they called me 47.
That's not a name.
So make it one.
All right. Agent 47.
Agent 47, also known as the Hitman,
What the fuck? That ain't no fucking private eye. That's a fucking ghost. That's a myth. That's a fucking hitman. Hitman? Oh.
is a literal perfect killing machine. Cloned from 5 leaders of various criminal organizations, Codename 47 and part of Contracts goes through this origin story of 47, discovering who his true father is and the fact that, yes, he is a clone.
Code Red. You forgot your tip.
That's all right.
I insist. On the table by the bathroom.
They are guys who ended up in a French Foreign Legion, and these guys at some point team up to create this perfect human being using their own genes. And the premises for the character was that it should be a badass character, a politically non-correct character, a provocative type of guy. Although very limited space for him to develop because he wasn't a real human, he was a clone.
Dr. Ortmeyer created Mr. 47. No one else has successfully created a Class 1 human clone. Dr. Ortmeyer literally wrote the book.
The barcode on the back of his head is the date he was born, the generation of clone, the class, and then finally the number. So it took 3 previous iterations to get the cloning process right, and of that first class, of this 4th try, it took 46 to make the 47th perfect clone. Hoi! They would then take 47's DNA and clone him to make 48 through roughly 60-ish, though that didn't go so well.
broke my heart, my son.
From that barcode, 47 was born September 5th, 1964. David Bateson, who serves as the voice and character model before using the actor as the model became like the regular thing to do, is roughly 47's age. Bateson was born February 9th, 1960. David is 65, whereas 47 is 61. 47, due to being the perfect clone, ages more slowly than regular people, though that's never really been confirmed, to my knowledge at least, so take that part with a grain of salt, or he just has really good moisturizer.
Every time, just like clockwork.
Before David Bateson was cast, 47 was going to be a stereotypical hitman, probably with a cheeseball Brooklyn accent, and he had hair. Now, whether you believe they scrapped the design because of the limited technology of the time, despite other characters having hair in Codename 47, or because David was cast and became the model is up to you.
It started out, way different from what it is now. First of all, he had hair to begin with, and he was a lot more cartoony than he is now. And then mainly due to, I guess, the visions of Rasmus Kjær, who is our creative director now, he turned into this much more sinister and cool character, and he ended up being this guy who's a clone of a multitude of genes from, ingenious people.
They did bring this design back, however, and again, this is also up to you, but I think they reused this design for the mysterious Shadow client in World of Assassination without spoiling too much for anyone who hasn't played that game yet. IO Interactive fans who already knew this little fact might see it in Kane, though, from the Kane and Lynch games. And that brings us to our first expanded universe tie-in.
Expect me to talk? No, Mr.
Yeah, I'll get to this one eventually.
You okay? You got shook up pretty bad.
What the fuck is going on?
I strongly advise you to do what you're fucking told.
Who the fuck are you to talk to me like that?
Your glory days are long gone, old-timer, and stop feeling sorry for yourself. Truck is down! We'll need another way out!
Dead Men was the first game in the Kane and Lynch series, followed quickly by Dog Days. Inspired by grindhouse flicks as well as the general boom of 1970s crime thrillers, Kane and Lynch are your typical third-person cover shooters of the time, and even though they aren't the greatest games ever made, it was cool to see IO Interactive branch out and try something new apart from Hitman. Yes, I'm also aware they made a Red Dawn-styled game and mini ninjas in between the main series. You play Kane in Dead Men and Lynch in Dog Days. These were co-op games as well, which I think is how they are best played in my opinion, so grab a buddy if you can and shoot some cops in couch co-op while you're at it. The biggest tie-in here to Hitman is that both Kane and Lynch have a cameo in Absolution. The prison break prologue in Dead Men is mentioned in a newspaper article during Blood Money, as well as various events throughout Dead Men. During Hitman World of Assassination, you can find a Dance Dance Revolution game that plays the song Chinese Diva from Dog Days, as well as some of the ambient music being the same in the Hokkaido area of World of Assassination. One of 47's outfits is Kane's as well. As I'm playing through both of these right now, which was an inspiration for this video, the main antagonist of Dead Men are the Seven, a crime organization Kane was previously involved with. My gut feeling tells me that they wanted to have one or two hits in Blood Money be a member of the Seven that you deal with in Kane and Lynch Dead Men, but for whatever reason, it was scrapped. This is just a theory. I also want to believe...
I don't believe you!
I also want to believe that IO wanted to throw in some Kane and Lynch nods to World of Assassination as well. Although they aren't directly named The Seven, I have a strong feeling that the Sarajevo 6 was a way for IO to skirt around the issues that they don't actually own Kane and Lynch anymore. You have visual similarities with the director having a scar down his face like Kane, and you also have another character basically being Lynch, fully bald now, plus sunglasses. Yes, sadly, IO no longer owns the rights to Kane and Lynch, as those were sold to Embracer, so the chance of us getting another third game about the most dysfunctional bromance in gaming history is probably never gonna happen, which is a shame, because of all the lessons IO learned with Worlds of Assassination, and most likely the upcoming 007 First Light, a third Kane and Lynch might have been the best in this series.
Right. Gloves off! You're getting me mad now, Brady! Shoot those fucking punks, Kane! But lay off Brady!
Mission Impossible series, love it or hate it, was a direct response to James Bond.
I'm getting there!
Instead of being an English spy, Ethan Hunt and the original team of the 60s series were American. Instead of changing names, they changed faces and outfits. Instead of supervillains, okay, well, supervillains are the same thing, and a rival organization devoted to terrorism, but that's another subject for another video. So when Mission Impossible came to consoles and you had the ability to scan someone's face, changing your outfit, social stealth, and fancy gadgets, all in the magical year of 1998, it only makes sense for the DNA of Agent Hunt to be a part of Agent 47. Now, while getting footage for this video, trying to think of a million other ways Hitman has an expanded universe, there's no way in hell the founders of IO didn't see this game and how fast tech was growing and thought, you know what, we can do this, but better. And they did. Dubai Mission in World of Assassination not only being a giant to Mission Impossible in general, might have been a sly way of saying, yeah, we know, for the Mission Impossible game that came out on N64 and PS1. And that leads us to Ethan's English counterpart, the one and only...
I gotta debate Austin Powers about for a
I don't look like fucking Austin Powers.
You look pretty groovy to me, baby.
The World of Assassination trilogy is excellent, not only as a giant love letter to the previous games with nearly every single mission being a nod to one of the other ones, it gave us a pretty great roguelike mode with Freelancer and a fun challenge with Celebrity Elusive Targets. 2 of them you can't play anymore, but the highlight really was Sean Bean's debut as the Undying.
Good morning, 47. Your target is Mark Faber, also known as the Undying.
The Undying.
This, coupled together with I.O. now helming the upcoming Bond games, it just makes sense that the most recent elusive target is Mads Mikkelsen, reprising his role as Le Chiffre from Casino Royale, in an almost one-to-one recreation, but it's Hitman, so you can basically do whatever you want. Now, I know some of you are saying, cool, but how does this tie into Bond if all they are is targets being used as a giant promo for the upcoming Bond game? Well... The intro mission for Hitman 2 Silent Assassin recreates the intro from The Living Daylights. The ICA logo itself is an altered version of MI6's own logo. 47 also spends a lot of time getting ordered around by a British woman, taking out supervillains basically, and as of World of Assassination, the ICA has a direct competitor in their own version of Spectre from Bond. And of course, yes, Casino Royale tie-in. Now, this could be me really reaching here, and it probably is, but John Wick might also be a part of the expanded universe. Hitman did the hyper-realistic assassin thing before Wick was even a thought, so this could either be continental friends across the globe or the actual Continental. It just makes sense to me that it's the actual Continental. After all, this wouldn't be the first time John Wick entered the gaming space.
Still breathing makes me more than rational. As for statistics,
I can still get your money. I can fix this.
The New World Order doesn't have any more time for you to fix this problem. Guess I'll just have to rely on my old Continental neighbors.
Oh yeah, and I forgot about the exploding pen.
How long did you say the fuse was?
Fury.
Good work, 47.
I'll say this now. If every mission of 007 First Light doesn't have a Where's Waldo-style Easter egg of 47 dressed up as various NPCs, I'm gonna riot. This is James Bond Jr. after all, so I'd love to see 47 give Kid Bond his first martini. Come on, I.O., make it happen.
Waitress, can I get a vodka martini shaken? Oh, you know what, no. Can I get a vodka and Red Bull pint glass, please? Thank you.
It is important to note that while yes, Bond's DNA is a deep part of the Hitman series, I'd argue it really wasn't until World of Assassination that they fully embraced it. Something about the earlier games, especially Contracts, feels tonally different from World of Assassination. Jesper Kid's score is a big part of that, I think. The atmosphere it adds, coupled with most of our targets being mob bosses or corrupt generals, drug dealers, etc., as opposed to the grandiose stuff like literal supervillains with mind control in World of Assassination, make the Hitman title an apt one. We aren't a globe-trotting spy, we are a hired killer who doesn't need a license to kill. All 47 needs is a reason.
You need to understand. Le Chiffre has to lose tonight, and I will use any means necessary. Is that clear?
What, you have a license to kill?
I don't need a license to kill. I just need a reason. Don't give me one.
Good afternoon, 47. Your target is Max Valiant, ex-ICA assassin and a legend within the firm.
Alright, our final tie-in to the Hitman universe is actually just Jean-Claude Van Damme. Like, there's nothing really more to it other than Jean-Claude Van Damme himself. He is known as the Splitter, Max Valiant inside of the Hitman World of Assassination universe. Jean-Claude Van Damme is canon and part of that world. So, Bloodsport, Kickboxer, Lionheart, Hard Target, Universal Soldier, Double Impact, Time Cop, Street Fighter, Nowhere to Run, Cyborg, JCVD, every single Van Damme movie you can probably think of is part of the Hitman universe, only he's undercover as someone else as he goes by Max Valiant. I love this mission, and I love that they put Jean-Claude inside of this game, basically as a giant parody of himself, as is the case with a lot of these elusive targets. So this one was a really quick one, until I have to make a part 2 eventually, as 2 more elusive targets are on their way this year. I love the Hitman series. It's a series I grew up with. Contracts was my first for the PS2. Me and my friends played Silent Assassin when we were in our dorms. I went to boarding school, and my friend Eric, rest in peace, installed Codename 47 on our school's PCs when we weren't supposed to. This series is in my DNA, so before I go, here's some honorable mentions I'd personally like to see cross into Hitman, or at least have a gun, gadget, or outfit of some sort referencing it, as well as some stuff you all should check out if you like the Hitman universe. Our first recommendation, and probably the highest one on this list, is actually Death to Spies 1 and 2. If you were ever wondering why there were no games that really ripped off Hitman's formula directly, instead of all the Gears of War crap and Call of Duty crap that we've gotten over the years, it's because that formula is really hard to replicate first off, and really difficult to get right. However, Death to Spies 1 and 2 at least are incredibly high rated. I just picked these up, I just started playing them, and as far as Hitman goes, they're more difficult than traditional classic Hitman. If you shoot your enemies and cause any blood on their outfit, you can't use that outfit anymore. You have to take them out with fiber wire or anesthetic, something like that. You can't shoot these guys. Your disguises only work for a certain number of enemies. Enemies will see through your disguises. They're incredibly challenging games. But these are the direct, hey, it's just Hitman with another skin kind of games. I do recommend picking them up on sale, as that's what I did, and they're like $2. They are incredibly difficult. I can't stress that enough. So this is your first recommendation. Hope you enjoy them if you play them. I'll get around to reviewing them eventually. Let's go on to another one. The Killer. The Killer, probably mostly known from the David Fincher film last year, is a pretty great comic series that's almost nothing like the film adaptation. It's 700 pages of the writer's self-insert political bullshit, but if you look past most of that, you have a solid story about a killer trying to find a normal life. I wouldn't mind if the outfit from the film was an unlockable DLC. Maybe we even get the sniper rifle he uses in the first 30 minutes of the movie. It's a Nemesis Arms Valkyrie, by the way. The Day of the Jackal. This one is interesting. With co-op coming to World of Assassination, it would be cool if Eddie Redmayne's The Jackal showed up. Day of the Jackal is a mostly well-done Peacock series of the same name. It's based on a book, there was a movie in the 70s, and a film with Bruce Willis. The series does 2025 bullshit, of course, at some points, but if you can get past that crap, you'll have another solid show about a killer trying to live a normal life. Huh, weird pattern. Give me the gun he uses, give me the outfits. The Jackal is a stylish character on purpose, and has some great suits I would kill to see 47 rockin'.
That peacocking quality that he has and that love of fashion was something that we really wanted to dig into. One of the things that was important for us was getting some absolutely timeless tailoring.
I also wouldn't mind if the Jackal was another NPC similar to the Kashmirian, only he's a much more competent sniper.
Operator, known as the Kashmirian.
Damn it. If I don't get this viewfinder working, I will miss the
Good
shots for
thinking,
sure.
47.
13 and Jason Bourne. Not to keep this video dragging on, but 13 was a fun shooter from back in the day, based on an okay comic series from what I have read of it, and it's the thing Jason Bourne ripped off of entirely, so much so the author of 13 tried to sue Robert Ludlum, the writer of Jason Bourne. Not sure if that case went anywhere, but I'm sure they settled out and somebody lost a lot of money. The Berlin mission reminded me a lot of Bourne, and I'm pretty sure it's a direct homage to it.
This is like looking for a needle in a haystack.
Just keep trying, Agent Montgomery. Our client considers Agent 47 and Olivia Hall as a serious threat. You can't underestimate them.
I never do, Zhao. We'll find them.
Now, there's a million other recommendations I could throw out there, like the Transporter films, Leon the Professional, John Wick, of course, and just so many. I think that's about it. If you have any other references or tie-ins that you found and I missed, let me know down below, and I'm sure we all would want to dive into even more Hitman-like stuff. So with all that said, I've been Calypso. If you like this video, like this video. If you dislike this video, dislike this video, and I shall leave you to prepare.